All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets here for this Sunday night showdown between the Philadelphia Eagles and the LA Rams. Let's go ahead and get into it. And so, as always, I like to start off with a game preview. So looking at this game, guys, it is a somewhat close game, 3 points, obviously. Pretty close game there. Eagles are going to be favored to win by 3 points in this game. And you look at the game total, about 49 points. So a relatively high-scoring game this is projected to be. The biggest piece of news that we have is that Devonta Smith is going to be out in this game, which to me, I'm thinking that what we have seen in the past is going to be what we see happen this week, where when one of the big three are out, excluding Barkley now, in terms of pass catchers, the other two step up. So Dallas Goedert, I'm expecting to have a really good game, and A.J. Brown, I'm expecting to have a really good game, especially against this Rams defense that has struggled to stop the pass. This Rams defense that just is not as good, really, as the Eagles defense and whatnot as well. So that's probably going to be our spot to attack. Now, in terms of which receivers I expect to really use Devonta Smith or take place for Devonta Smith's role, it could be a little bit Jahan Dotson. You know, he hasn't really been all that good. Obviously, terrible trade. Johnny Wilson, I would expect it to be him maybe snap count wise, but you do have Covey back as well. Most likely it's going to be a mix of the three, but we might even just see more two tight end sets instead. That could easily be what ends up happening, where we see a very strong focus on Saquon Barkley and probably just getting Saquon Barkley the ball in the passing game as well. It's kind of my thought process for this game. So let's go ahead and jump into the top prop bets that we are getting here. And we'll start with the Philadelphia Eagles here on PrizePicks. And I do like the bets that we are getting here on Dallas Goedert. Again, I think I'll be wanting to target his overs. And so we see probably on Underdog more so his over receiving yards. If that's a bet that you guys like, by all means, use that. I don't want to be betting on Saquon Barkley under. Now, I get why this is probably being favorited because you look at the matchup with the Eagles, with the Rams. The Rams are pretty good at stopping production for opposing running backs. At the same time, I do expect Barkley to get a decent amount of work in the passing game. And so if you are betting on this under, because, 52.4% likelihood, not the best, but not terrible, you're basically betting on, one, Jalen Hurts to get an over touchdown here, to get an anytime touchdown, to get a rushing touchdown. But you're also betting on Barkley to not have as big of a game in the receiving department. That's basically what that is. But we're going to see here, guys, some very, very tight lines in terms of the bets that we are getting. But again, I do think A.J. Brown and Goddard could end up having some big games. And for Dallas Goedert, I really don't mind any of the bets that we are getting for him. Like fantasy score, if you want to run that out. Again, receiving yards, you could run that out as well. I'm probably going to go that route, mostly on Underdog. It's 1 yard. That can end up being the difference, though. But I do want to call it a bet for A.J. Brown. Now, I do not like to recommend demon or goblin prop bets. You guys kind of know that long-term wise not going to be beneficial, especially, on PrizePicks, just with their payout shifts, not the best. But I do want to call this out. So they have his reception line at 6. If you are betting this for the over, don't be dumb. Bet the demon bet, right? Like if he gets the over 6 receptions, he's getting the over demon. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. Now it's not a big payout increase, but it's enough. And so it's stupid. I don't get that at all. And I do think that there's a good chance that he does end up getting this over. Okay, so with Devonta Smith out and in a pretty solid match, but I do expect him to be a little bit more concentrated in this high-scoring game and in this close game as well. That's a big key factor as well. They shouldn't be blowing out their opponent, and so they should need to throw the football a little bit more. And again, that's the weakness of the defense. So I think this is a pretty solid bet here. And then just taking a peek at the lines that we were getting for Jalen Hurts, I think it's worth calling out that lately, guys, we haven't been getting these big kind of fantasy score edges that we were getting between PrizePicks and Underdog with these quarterbacks. I noticed that this past week with college football and now with the NFL as well, where one of the sites corrected their formula with it seems like, because we were getting some pretty big edges with the quarterback scoring it. And I bring that up because it was a 1-for-1 swap in terms of the calculation for it. No half-point PPR difference or anything like that. So for Jalen Hurts, I think we're just kind of just passing on him today, at least on PrizePicks. And so let's go ahead and jump on into the Rams here. And so one of the better bets that we currently have is looking at Demarcus Robinson under his fantasy score. Basically just betting on him not to score a touchdown, betting on it to be the Puka Nacua show as well as the Cooper Kupp show as it has been. Now, Demarcus Robinson could certainly catch one long deep ball and be able to get us over. That's certainly within the realm of possibilities, but given the Eagles defense, I just don't see it happening. The Eagles are a good defense. And then from there, we are going to see that some of the bets that we're getting just not that many good edges in this game, right? Very tight board for this game. Now, I do see Puka Nacua having a good game, even though this defense, again, is pretty solid. So for me, what I want to be looking at is where can we get our best bang for our buck with Puka Nacua? And I think that's going to be with his over 6.5 receptions here as a demon bet. And again, I typically do not like to encourage these bets because if we chase these in the long term, not going to be worthwhile. But on a one-game slate, a slate in which we're not getting that many great prop bets, this is one where I'm kind of fine doing this. You know, we're trying to more have fun with this rather than this be a massively profitable slate like the past 2 weeks has been for us. And we'll pull up that DeMarcus Robinson bet. So yeah, since Puka Nacua has been back, like playing full time as well, we have seen DeMarcus Robinson really kind of struggling to get his over fantasy score. The only issue that I have with this is that he could really get this over in one play. And so in summary, this will be what I'm looking at for the PrizePicks bet of the day. Now, obviously, I'll be using some bets from the 9 to 5 cheat sheet that are currently popping up as well as bets to use with this or bets that I already have exposure to. And I do just want to make a quick call out as well. I did just make an update here on the 9 to 5 website, which is going to be the 9 to 5 PrizePicks cheat sheet light version. This is going to be more for mobile users. For some mobile devices, some iPhone types, the PrizePicks cheat sheet, the Underdog cheat sheet, there's just too much data going into it, so it takes a little bit to load, and it's just not as mobile friendly. So what you can do is you can go to this tab here and click on the light mobile cheat sheet. And when you do that, it's actually going to just show you guys this. You can click on it, and then it'll pop up all the rest of the details of that bet as well. So pretty awesome feature. That's included in your guys' 9 to 5 membership. And if you guys are looking to sign up and use the 9 to 5 cheat sheets, make sure you use the promo code KEEPCASH, and you guys will get 20% off when you do that. So take advantage of that, guys. But again, this is the PrizePicks bet of the day. We're going to go ahead now and jump on into the Underdog slate for today. So guys, the Underdog slate is basically the same in terms of like the bets that are popping up as good bets. So it's a little bit more difficult for us to gain edges. I'm going to go with these first two bets here, and that's going to be the Underdog bet of the day. Now, I do want to call it that with these first quarter receiving props, again, part of the bet is betting on the player getting more possessions. And so we're hoping that the Rams get the ball first. That's basically half of this bet is betting on that, getting the coin flip right. Obviously, you can still get the over regardless, but we're just adding more time and more possessions onto that bet. But from there, kind of tighter edges here. And so, again, this is just going to be the Underdog bet of the day here is these two prop bets here, a 2-slip bet. Keeping it simple there for you guys. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. Fingers crossed that we have a good night tonight. Again, tighter board, not going crazy with it. Already have some NBA bets out there. More so tonight. That's going to be all, though, guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Comment your guys' favorite prop bet. Again, if you guys want access to the 9 to 5 tools, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to those for just $10 a month. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.